Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. On today's video, I'm smoking my first ever prime rib. That's right, I have never smoked a prime rib until today. Stay tuned. You can see, look at this bark. It's crazy. Oh man, this is perfect. It helps to start with a nice sharp knife, okay? Oh my goodness. Look at that. All right, so here's my 20-pound USDA prime rib, and this is a good looking hunk of meat, 20-pounder. It's a big one. So I will be trimming some of this fat. You know, I can see some of the heavy fat pockets on the top of this fat cap. Now I do want to leave some of this fat cap on. I have watched a lot of videos and seen people do different things to these prime ribs. And one other thing that I am gonna do is I'm gonna cut these bones all the way down to the end. I'm not gonna remove them, but I do want to cut these and lift this up and season the prime rib on the inside. As I mentioned in the introduction, this is my first prime rib, so I just want to scope this thing out a little bit and kind of put my game plan together. So got some fat pockets here, and you know, the fat just kind of lifts up by itself. So I will remove this, just start trimming, being really careful. Okay, man, this fat just comes off by itself almost. So I want to be careful with how much I take off, but there's definitely some loose fat up here that I want to trim off. And I'm just going to take it slow. Actually comes off by itself almost. All right, so I'm going to leave some of that on there because I'm really close to the meat. And this fat is flavor, okay? So I'm just going to take off some of the heavier fat pockets. All right, so I'm gonna make an audible here. I have seen where people French these bones a little bit, and I have been trimming on this fat cap, but looking at it from here, it's all the way down to the bone, so I don't think I have a whole lot of meat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim this portion of this prime rib right here, kind of this section right here, and because this fat is pretty deep, okay? So I'm just gonna trim this up a little bit and completely remove this meat right here. Now I'm sure there's some pretty good meat in here, so I'm not going to toss this. There, I've hit the bone. So at this point, I'm just going to come to the top right here, and right up against these bones, trim off this hunk of fat and meat. Use a really sharp knife like my Dal Strong here. Just like that. Okay, so there's some pretty good meat here. I'm just gonna trim this up and probably save it in my fridge. All right, so I think that was a really good call. Again, that's a really big piece of fat right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and French these bones, and I'm not gonna throw this meat away, okay? Maybe make some stew with this meat. So Frenching the bone simply means to cut in between the bones here and kind of curve your knife up and remove this little piece of meat right here. So don't toss this away. Do a couple more for you guys here. Again, this is my very first time, so I made that audible because of the amount of fat that was right there. Just like that. Curve your knife and take this chunk of meat off. Using a good sharp knife really makes this process a little bit easier. All right, so I'm just gonna clean this up with my knife. Just take most of this meat off, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I've got the bones Frenched up as much as I want. Again, this isn't a 5-star restaurant. This is Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. All right, so I do want to show you that all the meat scraps that I had, I trimmed most of the fat off, especially the meat that was right here. I cut it up into small cubes. This is gonna make some good chile colorado with papas or something like that. So don't toss it away, put it in the fridge for dinner in a couple of nights. So as I mentioned earlier, I do want to separate these bones but not remove them, just to get a little bit of rub right here in between the bone and the meat. So I'm just going to take my boning knife and being really careful. Just cut up against those bones, okay? Again, I don't want to cut all the way through. I just want to separate it a little bit. And there's a seam there that you can follow, just like this. Okay, a little bit more. Doing it now, I think, is also going to make it easier once this prime rib is cooked to separate these bones or take the bones off, just to make it easier to cut. Okay, just like this. So these bones are barely hanging on. Okay, this allows me to put some rub right here in this piece of meat. All right, so that looks really good to me. All right, let's season this bad boy up. Now I am gonna truss this up, but I do wanna add some olive oil and some rub. Then I'm gonna truss it up and add a little bit more rub on top of that. So I'm just gonna add a light coating of olive oil just to get that rub to stick. Now this is gonna sit in my fridge for an entire day before I put it on my smoker. So I thought about cooking this prime rib on my offset smoker, but I want to maintain a really low temperature of 225, and I can do it on my offset smoker, but I'm doing this on a weeknight, okay? So again, I'm preparing this the night before, and tomorrow on my lunch break, I'm going to toss it in my smoker and let it smoke while I continue to work. All right, so that looks good right there. So the seasoning that I'm using today is this Cattleman's Grill Tuscan steak. I gotta tell you, this screams Flavor Town, okay? So I'm just gonna pop this bottle open, and I'm gonna season this cavity first right here, right in between the bones and the prime rib itself. Man, this rub smells really good, okay? So grab that meat as well. A lot of herbs and spices in this rub. This rub also has some dehydrated bell peppers, which is going to be fantastic on this prime rib. And letting it sit in the fridge is really going to let these herbs and spices rehydrate with the moisture that's going to be coming off of this prime rib. All right, so let's truss this bad boy up. Just got some kitchen twine here, and I'm going to start right here. Really nice and tight. All right, I'm gonna finish trussing this up, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I've got the prime rib all trussed up. Now I did lose some of the rub, obviously, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more rub to the top. All right, so I'm just gonna place the prime rib on a cooling rack, pop it in my fridge. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Stay tuned. All right, so it's the very next day, 12:30 in the afternoon to be exact. And one question that I often get is, how do I keep my YS640 looking so clean on my videos? I gotta tell you, I don't wash them until I'm gonna use them on my next cook. And one of the things that I like to use is this Castro Super Clean Degreaser. So I didn't clean my stainless steel table. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. Hopefully you guys can see it on the camera. But this is old grease and stuff from my previous cook. So I just like to spray some of this foaming degreaser, just a little bit. And you can wait a minute, or you don't have to wait at all. This stuff really takes it off really quick. Look at this. So just lightly wipe it down, just like that. And the same goes for the body of the smoker. If I get any grease right here on this bottom part of the smoker, I will spray some of that degreaser and wipe it down immediately. Okay, so there you have it. I also want to show you the pellets that I'm using today. I'm using B&B hickory pellets with some of the Jack Daniels charcoal infused pellets. That's that darker pellet. Hopefully you guys can see that, because I know the sun is kind of bright right now. But those are the pellets that I'm using today. All right, so I do have my smoker set at 225 degrees. And here's our prime rib. It should fit lengthwise like this. Oh yeah. So I want the heat to hit these bones right here, come over this fat cap and melt that down and kind of base the prime rib on its own. So I've got my meter probes here. I'm gonna put this dead center in the prime rib, just like that. And also one right here on this outside edge. So again, my smoker's set at 225 degrees. We'll check back in a couple of hours. Stay tuned. All right, so it's been 2 hours since we put our prime rib in, and the outside of my prime rib is measuring 75 degrees internal, and right at the center is 68 degrees, and that's expected obviously because this is the end piece right here. So the prime rib is getting a really nice smoke bath. As you can see, the amount of smoke that's coming out. I gotta tell you, this Yoder smoker at 225 degrees gives off the perfect amount of smoke. So again, we still have a while to go. We'll check back in about an hour and a half. Stay tuned. All right, so total cook time right now is 3.5 hours, 1.5 hours since the last time I opened up the pit. And there it is, looking really good, getting nice and smoky. The surface has got a nice crust feeling to it already. Now the internal temperature on this outside piece of the prime rib is sitting at 104 degrees, and right at the center is 95 degrees according to my meter app. So once I get to 115 degrees internal, I'm gonna fire up my Yoder flat top, put some coals in there, get it really nice and hot, and sear up this bad boy. So we'll see you guys in about 45 minutes. Stay tuned. All right, so 4 hours and 45 minutes, and the prime rib has hit the internal temperature we're looking for, 117 right in the center, and 121 on this outside probe. So I'm just gonna put on my Magna Chef gloves here. These are heat resistant gloves, and I absolutely love them. These right here. And I'll show you the nice thing about these gloves. So the reason I love these gloves so much is they have this magnet right here in the center. So to take them off kind of makes it hard sometimes. So these are magnetic. You just put them together right here in the middle, and then you can take your hand out, take one hand out, they stay up there, then you can take your other glove off. So it's really simple to use. So our prime rib is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the meter probes. Those have done their job. And I do have my Yoder flat top fired up. Got the coals nice and hot, so I'm gonna take this over to my Yoder flat top and put a really nice sear on this. All right, so I'm at my Yoder flat top now. As you can see, I've got some really hot coals in there. I am using B&B charcoal, also some B&B lump charcoal, the Texas style lump charcoal. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my prime rib and put a really nice sear. Again, we're shooting for about 120 to 125 internal. Then I'm gonna pull it, okay? So I'm just gonna put the fat side down first, just like that, and let that fat get a really nice sear. All right, so it's been a couple of minutes. Now I'm just gonna roll the prime rib over and hold it right here on the top. So just a couple of minutes per side is all you need, okay? All right, I'm gonna call this prime rib ready. I'm at 125 degrees right in the middle of that prime rib. I'm gonna take it off, cover it in foil, let it rest for about 30 minutes, then we'll slice into it. Stay tuned. All right, so while our prime rib is resting, I am gonna make a dipping sauce, a horseradish sauce. And I did see a couple of recipes. You know, I've been watching a lot of videos on how to make a prime rib. And Russ Jones has a recipe similar to this one. And also Cosmos Q, I was watching some of his videos, and he uses a similar recipe. So this is 8 ounces of sour cream. I'm gonna add about 3 ounces of horseradish, okay? That's about 3 ounces right there. We're gonna mix this up. Looks good right there. I'm gonna add a pinch of black pepper. I'm gonna also add a little bit of paprika for some color, a small pinch of salt, and mix it up. Oh yeah, there you go, that is perfect. I'm gonna pop this in my fridge, let the prime rib finish resting. We'll come back and slice into it. Stay tuned. All right, so the prime rib is ready. It has been resting for 30 minutes. Let's grab it and put it on this cutting board here. Look at that bad boy. Now I am gonna carefully remove the butcher's twine that we used. Some of it came off when we charred it, and that's okay. Just be really careful. Just like this. All right, so the next step, now that we got our butcher's twine removed, is just to remove the bones. Remember, we partially removed these. So I'm just gonna grab my chef's knife and run it right up against these bones. Okay, remove your bones and do not toss those because there's a lot of good meat on those bones right there. So here's our prime rib ready to be sliced. I am really liking the outside color. I got a little bit of char on the outside, but that's okay. That's gonna have some really nice flavor to it as well. So I'm just gonna slice it right in the middle and get our money shot, if you will, and see how we did. It is ridiculous tender. Look at that. Man, that is beautiful. Perfect medium rare. Really nice and juicy. Hopefully you guys can see the juices running out of this. I'm just gonna take a couple of nice thick slices off of this. Good 3/4 of an inch thick slices here. Man, this looks absolutely delicious. Really nice and juicy, still really warm on the center after it's been resting for about 30 minutes. All right, let's give it a taste. All right, the moment of truth. Let's see how we did on my first prime rib. I gotta tell you, I was a little bit nervous, but after doing this, I know the second one's gonna be even better than this, okay? So I'm just gonna cut into this one right here. Right here, this little piece right here is the one I'm after. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Actually, I'm gonna try it without the horseradish sauce first. Holy smokes. That is absolutely delicious. I'm gonna try some with a horseradish sauce. I gotta tell you, nothing goes better than a good prime rib with some horseradish. Now, my favorite part of the ribeye or the prime rib is gonna be this spinalis dorsi. I'm gonna have a big old piece, no horseradish. Here we go. All right, so that spinalis dorsi part of this prime rib is really tasty. Overall, I am really happy with this prime rib. I will absolutely do this again. I gotta tell you, this rub from Cattleman's Grill, the Tuscan steak, is savage, and I highly recommend that you guys give this a shot. So if you've never smoked up a prime rib before, I highly recommend that you give it a shot. Do not be intimidated. I was a little bit intimidated at first, and I've cooked a lot of meats in my life, but never a prime rib. I will be doing this again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. See ya.